Nice. That's cute as hell. Well, I'm gonna bring up somebody who got some real jokes. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm just doing this shit for practice. One day I'll be brave. One day, one of these days. In the meantime, I'm gonna let the comedians do their job, and I'm gonna just keep telling y'all embarrassing shit about myself. It's amazing. But I'm gonna bring up this comedian who is also amazing. They've performed at Queer Abstract before, and I'm super excited to have them back on this stage. Make some noise right now for Justin Covington!
Keep it going! Woo! Yes. It's lovely to be back. My name is Justin. And it's a typical name. It's too common. But I'm from Detroit. I actually moved here about a year ago. I just moved from Detroit. And I was at a bar in Detroit closing out my tab. And the bartender asked me what my name is. I said, my name is Justin. And as I'm filling out the receipt, the bartender remarks to me, he says, you know you're the first black Justin I've ever met. And that's like a weird and a dumb thing. There are plenty of black Justins. Like, it's a dumb thing to say. And it's just like weird. Like, it brought me back to like elementary school when I was in line for the bus. I'm used to hearing like dumb shit white people say because I grew up in the suburbs. So I was sitting in the line for the bus one day, and a kid asked me why this side of my hand is white. And this side of my hand is black. And I said, all the single ladies. And he said, what? And I said, you'll get it in 2008. But I was closing out my tab at the bar, and this other dude sits down and he jumps in the conversation. He's like, what are you guys talking about? And this bartender's like, oh, this is the first black Justin I've ever met. And this other dude stops and thinks for a second. He's just like, you know what? Me too. And I'm starting to get worried. Like these two went to some weird racist summer camp where they had to go on a scavenger hunt. Like they had to find an Asian Kathy. And like somehow Black Chess is the most dangerous game of all. Which is ridiculous because I know how to catch Black Justin 100% of the time. All you need is a baked potato and a strong Wi-Fi signal, and I will be there. That's really all I need. Like I said, I just moved here about a year ago, and I gotta say, I really enjoy living in New York, but y'all complain way too damn much about stuff you should be grateful for. Yeah, you do. A lot of people here are like, dating in New York is so hard. Like, dating, that's a common thing. Dating in New York is so hard. Which is stupid to me because I literally moved from Detroit because I ran out of guys to date. Like, I opened up Tinder one day, it flashed red and white and said, maybe you should move to a coast, so I'm here. But even with all these people, all these millions of people, too many damn people in this city, y'all are like lazy. You're like, oh, I live in Lower Manhattan. I'm not gonna date someone who lives in Upper Manhattan. Oh, I live in Brooklyn. I'm not gonna date someone who lives on the other side of Brooklyn. Meanwhile, back in Detroit, I regularly cross international borders to Canada for dick. Like, I got in my car, drove to the border, paid a toll, spoke to a border guard who asked me why I'm in their country. Let's say for your finest men. And then I have my fun, and then on the way back, the border guard on the way back would be like, well, are you bringing anything back with you? And I'd say, I sure hope not. Let me get some of that healthcare before I go, you know? I want to be safe on my way out. But I do live in New York now, and I think my local bodega is gaslighting me. Because every time I come home drunk and try and find the double stuffed Oreos in a different place, but the guy at the register swears they're in the same place every time. Like I go and ask him, he's like getting indignant. He's just like, they're there all the time. You always ask about them. Like I promise it's not. I don't think he's doing it actually though. I think it's just like future me trying to stop me from getting those Oreos. It's like going back in time, not to save the world or like fix an election. It's like no, it's stop him from getting the Oreos. That's what future me is concerned with. I came out late-ish. And multiple times because everyone loves a double reveal. And the first time I came out was in the parking lot of a strip club. I know, cliche, right? I was in the parking lot of a strip club. I was there for my older brother's bachelor party, and I was there with my older brother, his friends, and my younger brother was there too. And we're sitting in the club, and this is just like the biggest test. Like I was in the closet, and I was just like, okay, I was studying up. I was doing flashcards. All the flashcards said bro. Like I was trying to figure out, I was trying to make sure I could like pass enough at the strip club. And then just like as soon as like the stripper came up to me, I was just like, but like in the way that like if a waiter is like, do you want some more water and you're about to leave? Like that was my face. So she would come into me and be like, no thank you. No thank you, I'm about to go. Like that was my demeanor. But I look over at my brother, and he's not getting any lap dances either, so I'm like, oh, I don't know, maybe I have an ally, who knows? So, on the way home, we're in my car waiting for it to warm up, and I tell my brother, like, I'm exhausted, really pretending to be straight that long is like, you know how Jean Grey has those force fields? And then the Juggernaut would, like, bang on it, and then eventually, after a while, like, that's what the door to the closet's like. And I was telling my brother, I was just like, Al, the reason I didn't get a lap dance is because I'm attracted to men. I'm gay. And he said, oh, the reason I didn't get a lap dance is because I have a girlfriend and lap dances are expensive. So we all have our reasons. But I do use Grindr because it's gay law. I do use Grindr. It's much more convenient using it here. Back home, I'd have to drive hours between shows. And I'd open up my phone, and I'd see all these dick pics on my phone that I didn't ask for that I just collected along the way. Like all these dick pics on my phone. Struck a chord. But there'd be so many dick pics on my phone that I didn't ask for that I could build a giant dick pic I didn't ask for composed of smaller dick pics I didn't ask for. But I don't delete them, like I'm not crazy. I treat unsolicited dick pics like people in red states treat Obamacare. I didn't ask for it, but you better not take it away from me. But yeah, I do use Grindr because it's gay law, and a lot of my straight friends are like, oh, it must be like so easy. Like you can hook up, you see how close they are. It's just like, no, it's not. Dating gay men is like, what if the male gaze gazed into itself? Like that is what you have to deal with. I love the gay community, but I've never met a group of people who are so deeply into bondage as much as they're terrified of strings. Like it's fantastic. Like I said, I do use Grindr because it's gay law. How much time do I have left? I don't want to blow my time. Okay, I'll just keep going. Yeah, I do use Grindr, and I gotta say, of all the things that I like on Grindr, my favorite part is the racism. It's very fun. Give it up for the racism on Grindr. I messaged this one white dude. I was just like, hey, you're cute. And his first response to me was like, oh, sorry, no blacks. And I was like, oh. I didn't know I was talking to a bathroom sign from 1960. It's good to know. But I pressed him on it. I was just like, why don't you like black guys? He's like, whatever. I pressed him on it. He's like, the reason I don't like black guys, this is what he said. So the reason I don't like black guys is because their dicks look like fallen tree branches. That's what he said to me. He said, our dicks look like fallen tree branches. First of all, hashtag not all black cocks. Like, you can't say that. But second of all, like, who are you to talk? Like, I've seen plenty of white dick. Like, white guys' dicks are like mood rings. You can tell the emotion of a white guy by the color of his dick at a given time. Like, who are you to talk? I did hit a good milestone. I lost about 100 pounds over the past 4 years. Thank you. And I think to lose that weight, you got to figure out how you got that weight in the first place. And I figured it out for myself. By round of applause, who here is familiar with the Book It program from the 90s? Yes. If you aren't, you definitely are. It was a partnership between Pizza Hut and elementary schools. Told you so. It's a partnership between Pizza Hut and elementary schools where you get gift certificates for reading books. So what this program implicitly taught a generation of American youth is if you sit in one place for a long period of time and do not move, you should be rewarded with pizza. And that's a reward system that I'm still on to this very day, guys. Like, I have not stopped. But now I go to the gym all the time, so I have real unrelatable content about abs, so here we go. My least favorite thing is like working out my core at the gym, mostly because I'm empty inside and hollow. It's not very structured. But also because like I work out so hard, I'm just like, oh, I must have like abs now. I look in the mirror, it's just like, no, you don't. Like I wish if you worked out your abs real hard for like 45 minutes, you got a six-pack for 5, just long enough to take a new grinder profile. Like, you know, just long enough for that. Product revision I'm submitting to God. That's what we're doing. That's what prayers are. Prayers are just product submissions to God. It's just like when a new iPhone comes out, you tweet at Apple. It's that same thing. But I finished up on this because I feel like I'm going too long. I was talking about dick pics earlier. Are you all aware that dick pics are evolving? Yeah. Dick pics are evolving. We're all familiar with the standard dick pic. We all are familiar with the standard dick pic. It's a picture of a dick next to a GameCube controller for scale. We've all seen that one. It's a classic. But there's a new kind of dick pic, and it's happened enough times to where it's like a trend, and I get it exclusively from the white gaze. And it's not a picture of their dick. It's a picture of them sucking a different black guy's dick. Yeah, I know. You guys sound like you're confused, you're not sure, but just... It may sound confusing, but think about it like this. You know how you tailor a cover letter? To the job you're applying to? Like, I just assume these white gays just have a color swatch of dicks on their phone, so they're ready for every single occasion. Oh, it's okay, guys. You've been so much fun. Keep it going for your host. I've been fun. It's Justin Covington. Thank you.